Hey everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live that we do every single Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central, and we do a live Facebook Live somewhere here locally in the Dallas Metroplex once a month on the second Sunday. Our next Facebook Live will be March 8th, and you don't want to miss that. Great group of women, incredible fun time. We have a glass of wine or two and have some great discussions. So March 8th, make sure you put that in your calendar, and make sure you text the word truth to 64600 so that you know the location of that sisterhood social is what we call it. We don't want you to miss out, and it's just the easiest way for me to get everybody the information, and we'll get that to you about a week prior. Anyway, let's just dive in right away to what I want to talk about this week. And first of all, happy Valentine's Day. I didn't want to get rid of him too soon. He was so cute. So he and I are wishing you a happy Valentine's Day, and hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you felt blessed and loved, and not necessarily by someone of the opposite sex. There's all sorts of love we can encounter from our friends and our kids and all sorts of people in our life. And I hope you were able to feel cherished and helped others to feel cherished as well. But I want to talk to you about something that happened on Monday night, the 17th. And that was Nancy Lieberman's annual Dream Ball. And it was an opportunity for us. I'm on the board of Nancy Lieberman Charities, and it was an opportunity for us to really celebrate the kids and the communities that we serve. And we had over 500 or over 600 people there. It was downtown at the Bomb Factory, and it was so, I don't know what was more incredible. The opportunity to hear Cint Marshall speak, who is the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, and just a maverick herself. I mean, my gosh, what a perfect team for this woman to be at the helm of, because she is a maverick in her own right, and she is doing some amazing things with that organization for the community, for minorities, for women. It's just incredible to see what she's done with that organization. And Mark Cuban, good job. She is just doing a fantastic job. She's an incredibly inspiring woman, and it was really great to hear her story. If you don't know who she is, look her up, Google her, CYNT, Cint, it's short for Cynthia Marshall, and she is the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks and a total badass. I am so impressed. And then we were also blessed by seeing the recipients of all of the scholarships that Nancy Lieberman Charities gives away to deserving students, most of which are athletes and hardworking, getting great grades. And a dear friend of mine out of the blue, who I've known for 20 years, called me and said, "Oh my gosh, my son got a scholarship." And so I was blessed to sit with his dad, who was 104 years old, and grandmother, and they got to see their grandson receiving his scholarship and get all dressed up. They looked so beautiful, and got to see him on stage with all of these other incredible athlete and athletic students, and share in the joy of getting that scholarship. And we also were blessed by so many athletes, and Jay Harris was our MC, and we had so many incredible athletes there that were there to support. They're not there for their own glory. They're there to support Nancy Lieberman and her charity and what she's doing for her kids and the community that the kids are in. And it was just so wonderful to see these, very successful athletes give an evening of their time. I know how busy they are, and they all have their own incredible schedules. Most of them have their own charity events that they have to attend and manage, and they were all there, and they're always, every year I've been coming to this Dream Ball, and every year they're so gracious. They walk around, take pictures, sign autographs, chat, talk with people, talk with fans, talk with the kids, inspire the kids, pour into the kids. I love, because there are a lot of kids at the Dream Ball, and I love seeing the athletes kind of pick out these kids, and I'll overhear them mentoring them, and don't forget to do this, and make sure you stay in school, and make sure it's just precious to see. And we all need to be mentors to our youth. And if you aren't involved in an organization that mentors youth, please, I encourage you. The youth are our next generation. They're our future. And we've got to mentor them. We have got to be there for them. So many kids nowadays are being raised by single parents. I was a kid that was raised by a single parent. And, mom was working her butt off up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She was out of the house by 6. She didn't get home until 7. And if it wasn't for the really great mentors in my life, being born and raised in Los Angeles, I could have easily taken a path that could have derailed my life for good. And thankfully, I had great mentors. I had great opportunities to be mentored, even though financially we were pretty poor. I had the opportunity to just have people in my life that poured into me, made sure that I stayed on the straight and narrow. So it was just an amazing thing to see. And then we were blessed by Winona Judd, who just kicked butt. She sang 3 of her best songs, and she did it flawlessly. It was an incredible evening, and it was just really a dream ball. And the passion that Nancy Lieberman has behind this charity is to pour into kids. And it's not just scholarships. It's basketball courts where kids have an opportunity to go and bond with other kids. And she always says the court is the great equalizer, and sports is the great equalizer. See, she stepped on a court in New York, and one of the most famous basketball courts down in New York. It's in a public park, and she was just this little white Jewish girl with red hair, and I think she was about 12, 14 years old, and she was wanting to play against these tall guys, and she would try and get in a game, and she'd stand on the sidelines yapping until they put her in a game. But she proved herself on that court, and that court was the great equalizer. And, it's just, I love hearing her tell the story, and I don't want to tell her story because it is such a fascinating story. And I hope to have her when we start our podcasts very soon. I hope to have her as one of my guests. So I will leave her story for another time, but she has just taken her upbringing and the hardships that she went through and has now created a charity that's completely wrapped around and revolves around all the things that were important to her growing up. One thing is backpacks, and she was unfortunately, she was raised by a single mom. They were literally 1 month away from the lights being turned off at any given moment. They were very, very, very poor. And she didn't have a backpack to go to school in. And so she would take her books and put them in a paper bag and wrap up her books and stuff them in her jacket so nobody would see it. But people would see it, and she was made fun of. And so that's another thing that she's passionate about, and that is providing backpacks and school supplies to underserved kids. It's just awesome to see their faces. We, at the last court opening back in December, and by the way, we've opened up close to 100 courts. I believe this year, 2020, we will open up our 100th court. And but the last court opening we had here in Dallas, JCPenney was fantastic, and they came out and gave free coats to all the kids that were there. And I think we gave away 60 coats, something like that. And these courts are not just for the kids to play on. We gift them. Nancy Lieberman Charities gifts them to the local police department. And we also raise money to provide basketballs to put in the trunks of the police cars. so that when all the police are patrolling, if they see kids on the court without a ball, they are absolutely encouraged and allowed to get out of their car, grab a ball out of their trunk, and go shoot hoops with those kids for a little bit and leave the ball with them. And we raised money for that as well. We raised thousands and thousands of dollars to provide basketballs to put in the trunks of the police officers' cars. Because if those kids get to know those police officers as just regular human beings that are there to serve them, and those police officers get to know those kids and get to know that they're good kids, and it's just going to bring the community together. And we also raise money. We do something called a day at the office, and we give away iPads and technology. We give away iPads all year long, because without one of these, life is really, really challenging. Technology is the great equalizer as well. And so we love being able to give away iPads to underserved schools and to kids. So it's just a fantastic night, and we all have such a great time. And I really want to just thank each and every one of you that came out. If you're watching this Facebook Live, there's a lot of you that are friends of mine on Facebook. If you came out and were in any way involved, either donating or supporting or in any way helping out with Nancy Lieberman Charities, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say a huge thank you for all that you do for these kids, and allowing us to see the faces on these kids just makes everything worthwhile. When we open up a court, or we give them jackets, or we give them school supplies, or an iPad, it's just that's truly my gift, and it's the best thing to be involved with giving. And if you don't have a pet charity, you don't have a charity that has captured your heart yet, I encourage you to, and I'll have a link in here, I encourage you to look up Nancy Lieberman Charities and look at what we do on a national scale for kids, and come be a part. Get a table next year at Dream Ball, or help open up a court in your local area that needs it. We've just got so many opportunities for you to serve, even if it's just coming to a court opening and playing basketball with these kids. That would be great. But I really wanted to just say thank you so much for everyone, and thank you for supporting. And if you don't know who Nancy Lieberman is, do the research. She is one of the most dynamic human beings I've had the pleasure of knowing, and it's been a wonderful situation that she's also become a dear friend. And I know her heart, and I know what why she works so hard for these kids. And if you saw the passion that she has every single day for these kids, and she's flying out to open a court there, and she's flying out to open a court there, and then she's flying to New Orleans to cover a game, and then she's flying back here. She's on the road constantly, and so much of it is for these kids. So again, thank you for all of you that are a part of the organization. For those of you that didn't know what the organization did and the charity does, then definitely become a part. We'd love to have you. And we will be talking very soon, next Sunday, for our Facebook Live. And the way that we're doing these, go ahead and make sure you're commenting and sharing and liking and everything like that during the Facebook Live, and I will be commenting. These are now pre-recorded so that I can comment and talk to you during the Facebook Live. So make sure you realize that, and make sure you pass that on to anybody that you share this with. So again, everyone, thanks so much for being with us, and we will talk to you next week.